Welcome back to the Carrie and Gordon Show, our Tuesday show. And let's get this going. If you're seeing this on TikTok, I want to put this down and say hi. Let's see. Invite Carrie. We're going to get you going. You should be in the bottom there. I'm going to go live on YouTube. Welcome back to another episode, another show of the Boundaries and Brotherhood Carrie Pullaro Show. And today we have an amazing topic. And today's topic, one of Carrie's posts, you say you want a man that leads, right? All right. But it's when it's time to trust, receive, or let go of control, there's certain communication styles that needs to be going on, right? But if you want to co-create a relationship where he naturally rises, right? You have to look at 3 communication styles. And that's what our topic is going to be today. Carrie, while you get it all situated, where do you go on TikTok? While Carrie's getting all situated on TikTok, she's going to explain to you the 3 things that she's come up with because she's going through some stuff in whatever got going on. But while we get set up, Carrie, do your normal thing, introduce yourself, and let's get that going.
God, this has been so great today. I'm Carrie Pullaro, relationship and mindset coach. I help high-achieving women stop chasing love and learn that they are the prize.
So explain to me on your post on what it meant to have that communication style and give these situations of why you came about it.
Well, I realized that my style wasn't working. I was blowing up relationships. There's a lot that wasn't working in my communication with my partners. And I'm talking about my past partners.
Right.
What really came up for me was what's happening here? Because in my mind, I feel like I'm communicating thoroughly what I want. And really, it was the way that I was going about the communications. For example, I would communicate. The big thing I would do is be critical. I would criticize, like, hey, you never do this. Hey, you don't do this. And I would focus on all of the things that he was not doing in an effort to get him to do the things I wanted him to do. If you're complaining to somebody, that doesn't inspire them to do anything for you. I didn't know that at the time. I'm like, man, I'm telling you exactly what I want. Like, what's going on? Why don't you understand? And it was in the way that I was communicating instead of making the request of, hey, you know what? I'd really like to do something this weekend. It was, we never do anything. Like, are we ever going to do anything this weekend?
Oh,
That's not inspiring.
It's demoralizing.
Yeah. You're telling me all the shit I'm not doing. Like, that works everywhere, not just in your romantic relationship. I mean, that works communication with anybody.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of interesting because I never think of it, but even for like when I'm communicating with my energy might be low because I'm holding on to some sort of resentment. I'm holding on to some sort of crap, or then it comes out kind of weird, right? Or what Andrew calls it, I'm yelling. I'm just loud. I'm excited all the time. But it's like, so what? We're gonna go over the 3 things: communicate clear desires, letting the silence breathe, and soft transparency. If anyone is controlling disguise as clarity or stuff like this, is going to be your show, because this is what Carrie's going to go over, because she created this so that she can work on her relationship from her past mistakes. Explain to me the first part, communicating clear desires.
Well, the big part is
demands. Yep.
I want to communicate in a straightforward way. I don't want to hint. I don't want to expect them to read between the lines. Say what you mean. So instead of I'm fine, when you're clearly not, maybe try something different. Like, I'm feeling hurt because I didn't feel heard in that conversation. I'm feeling hurt because I had an expectation that we were going to spend time together. Just be clear in the communication. And that goes a long way rather than, giving him the cold shoulder. I'm fine when I'm clearly pissed off because he didn't make the plans that I just assumed he would make because I told him he never does anything. He should know exactly what I want. That doesn't work at all. And I think that there's that conditioning of, at least for me in my household, I was raised in a household where it was very critical. There was the standard of excellence and perfection that was kind of displayed. Anything less than that was unacceptable. And so my parents parented in a way that allowed criticism to be the driver. And it does work to a degree.
Okay.
There is that not enough story that becomes so loud because it doesn't matter how much I continually do, how I'm showing up. I'm not hitting that standard of excellence that's expected of me. And so I begin to feel less than. I begin to start shrinking. I begin to try to people please. So my entire personality begins to change. And so does my communication style.
Okay. Now, from a woman's point of view, from a man's point of view, how are we supposed to read basically your minds? Like, even though like everybody, like last week's was, we're completely two, men and women are two completely different things. How does that, what would you recommend to guys watching this, or females watching this, or women going through some sort of something similar?
Well, I think the most important thing is to focus on the solution. When
True.
I am clear that I want to find a solution, not focus on the problem. Focusing on the problem isn't working.
Okay.
So focus on the desired outcome, which is the solution.
Right.
Because men are wired to fix things, right? So if I vent, if I'm complaining, if I'm bitching, he might feel helpless, like he might shut down.
Right.
Perhaps a different way of communicating would be, I'm not asking you to fix this. I would just like for you to listen. Or can I get your thoughts on a solution? Allow him the space to be in the conversation rather than you just complaining and bitching about the problem. And leaving him, kind of just like throwing him off guard, leaving him to try to figure it out when he's blindsided completely.
Right. But sometimes, when I see some of these videos out here with these women doing that, where is it going to get? Because then it doesn't get nowhere, but they think that everybody else is supposed to change around him. I know for once you used to be in that mindset.
And one thing, it's so funny, now that I have, like, I've done a lot of healing around my dad.
Absolutely.
And the masculine energy and all the things. And so, having conversations with my dad, I remember him telling me, men thrive on acknowledgement. If you lead with gratitude, you have his attention. And then make your ask, right? Like, in a way, you get to be strategic about it, but you get to show appreciation for the person, because if the other way isn't working, why would I continue to complain when I can acknowledge him? I love how thoughtful you are with planning our weekends. Could we also plan a night together soon? Like, lead with acknowledging him for what he is doing, what you do appreciate.
Now, what would be some recommendations you would give to men?
That it works both ways.
Okay. I mean,
We absolutely do.
I try to trick her, guys. I try to trick, but she's coming. Why Carrie is so important to this channel is she's came from also a feminist, active, masculine energy type woman that has changed and figured it out because of all the processes, the healing that she's been through. This is why I like to pick her brain on a lot of things, because some of the times you just don't know as a guy, but when you coming from a woman that's seen both sides and now has gained so much traction in her relationships, it's really good to see, because she can give that type of advice. Because if the advice she gives can help us all to have better relationship with our coworkers, with our spouse, with our kids, why not take it? Even though she came from two sides, right? Let me ask you another question. Number 2 that she wrote on her post. If you're not following Miss Carrie Pullaro on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, what does it mean when you say the silence, letting the silence breathe? That kind of like got me a hook. Like, what is that?
Well, a lot of times he might be communicating something to me that he's currently going through. And I'm like, oh my God, I have the answer.
Did she?
I have the answer.
Okay.
He's not looking for me to fix it. Maybe sometimes I get to just sit back and allow him to process. And this is one thing I've learned about women and men, is that men focus on one thing at a time. They can focus on one thing at a time. And that's just how they're built, testosterone, all the things. Women, we have the ability to focus on multiple things at a time. So when I'm trying to have, I'm having 50 conversations in my head all the time. I'm a multitasker. I'm thinking about multiple things.
Okay.
When it comes to communicating to men, and so I heard this and I thought, that's bullshit. And then I remember having a conversation with my dad, and I asked him 3 questions in a row. And he said to me, he got really irritated with me, and he said, can you allow me a moment to answer your first question before you follow it up with 2 and 3? you're like overwhelming me. And I was like, oh,
Oh,
thank you for saying that, because people talk about this. I don't necessarily believe it. Right? Like people said that, but in my mind, I think everybody's
interesting.
like me. Why can't you process like 80 things at one time? You should be able to.
Right.
So
Right.
what that does, I realize that when I ask multiple questions and I'm not giving him the time and the space to think, process, and answer, and I follow it with another quick question, then it feels disrespectful because it is overwhelming him and he's uncomfortable. So learning that, my rule was, and my dad gave me this rule, is so great. Give him 60 seconds to answer. When you ask a question, give the man 60 seconds to answer. And I'm like, 60 seconds? That's a fucking lifetime. Are you serious? But I do it and it works. It totally works. That has totally changed so much of my communication. But inside, my whole body's like, bro, let's go. Come on. I know you can do it.
Is it because we had a different lifestyle where everything had to move so fast and that's how we think? Because I think the same way. And I'm guilty of it also when I do that with Andrea. I got to give her time to think about it instead of rushing all those answers because I want the answer so fast. Do you think that's part of because of the back lifestyle? The drug, the fast moving life, things have to move fast.
Yeah, you have to be on your feet. You have to be like quick, witty, like ready. I do think that plays a big part in it as well.
Oh, really?
I think it might be like my attention span as well.
Me too.
I'm definitely guilty of not having patience to allow people their process. I am. I'm totally guilty of that. You get to be right here with me, and not everybody is going to be, and that's okay. And it doesn't mean anything about you, and it doesn't mean anything about them. I get to respect everybody's communication style and the way that they process information.
I mean, that's easy because maybe because we're guilty of the expectations. We want it fast.
I want instant gratification. I think that, so when what really came up for me was like being an addiction, that instant gratification, dopamine hit. Like, give me the answer. Let's go. Come on. Ooh. Like, I want that because I want to keep going. I got other things to do. Not everybody's there.
The drug use.
It is. Oh my gosh. And so having to learn that, like, oh, whoa, take a step back, relax. Not everything is an emergency or it's not an urgent request.
Right. Most people that think fast have that problem with having no patience. Even before I went to prison, I was worse. I've learned to have patience after doing all this time, but it still comes up because I want things done fast if it's not my way. But when you're doing it with relationships and you're dealing with other people's emotions, I'm really guilty of that. I wouldn't give you my answer now, or else I'm going to just shut up and just give you the silent treatment, something crazy, something weird like that. I guess that's the excuse, and I chalk it up to that because I don't know what else to do. Because even though me and Andrew might be going through, it's like, okay, because she went back to flying, I have pressure with the kids, I'm the stay-at-home dad, I'm doing stuff. It's like, communication is key, even though it's so overwhelming sometimes, right? Because it's just part of the deal. Let me ask you this question now. What is soft transparency, what it means to you and your take? Because you kind of mix it a bit with letting the silence breathe. How is that one different?
Well, that one is just letting my partner know that, like, softening my tone, softening my body language, because men are highly responsive to tone. If I'm keeping my voice calm and inviting, maybe eye contact, gentle touch on the arm, like something, it will establish connection and let him know, hey, this is real. This really matters to me.
Listen up, ladies, because that's one of the best advice if you could give right there. Because I didn't realize it until you just said it. Because that feminism energy, that masculine energy that you prefer to force it ain't going to work. And she's learned this, right? So that's so good, Carrie. This is getting juicy.
Well, I mean, I've looked this up a lot. This is really important. I need you to focus. Stay with me here. That does not work.
With them. Nice. It's that work. She's going to give us examples from her point of view, a masculine woman.
I'm thinking of like all of the ways I would try to communicate. And then I'm like, I don't understand. I'm telling him exactly what's happening, and I'm not getting this desired result. It's the way I was communicating, the way I was saying things. It wasn't an invitation. It was like a demand. Yes, he gets to know that it matters to me, but I can communicate it in a way that's inviting him in. Hey, I really want to show you something that means a lot to me. I want to share something special with you, and I would love your thoughts on it. Also, like inviting his opinion and his thoughts. That shows appreciation, and it's acknowledging that you respect him and his views as well.
If you had some women watching on TikTok, YouTube, live, and comments, if you're doing these certain things, how do you change it? What would be your first steps to change it? Because you've internalized all this stuff already from all your healing, all your workshops, all the things that you've done. If you're a woman doing 1, 2, 3, how do you correct this 4, 5, 6?
Well, I think the first thing you get to do is write down the examples, because unless you recognize how you're doing it, what I did was,
Nice.
as I was learning this, it didn't immediately translate into real time. I would learn this and be like, oh my God, this is so profound. And then I'd go do the thing that I always do and just blow up and have an argument. And then I was like, okay, let me go write this down and kind of dissect what happened here. And so I would write down, and how could I reframe this entire conversation? And then I would reframe the conversation like in a journal or in my mind, or I would
Okay.
process it with someone. And then after I would follow up the conversation with, hey, I realize that my communication wasn't effective. So I'd like to
Right.
try again. And then I would try it a different way, which felt so weird and so foreign. And like
Yeah.
I was speaking a different language. But then I saw that he was receptive, and it was just like,
Whoa, you
okay.
discovered something.
Yeah. It was just funny because I'm like, this is never going to work.
But it works with communication now with Able. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing that's
Perfect.
You have tools that you could use. The stuff that you was doing before never did work, but now you have tools and options, which is more than what most people have nowadays. They don't have options because they're so used to doing the same old stuff like that, the same old thing, going back, looking for now. And let me ask you this question now, right? How does it feel knowing you have that in your tool belt?
Oh, it feels amazing because it's totally transformed my relationship. And I'll tell you that he has helped me a lot as well, especially when I come to him to communicate. He corrects me all the time when I say this because it's so funny. Carrie, use an I statement. Because I want to say like me or you.
It's I statements.
And he's like, no, we're not blaming here. You get to use I statements. So if I'm feeling like he doesn't care about what I'm thinking or my opinion, and I go in with, you don't care about what I think, right? Like that's not going to work. That's blaming, that's attacking. But if I try, I'm feeling really unseen when my ideas aren't acknowledged.
Yeah.
If I lead with that, it doesn't blame him. I'm owning the feelings, but I'm also recognizing that this is not his stuff. This is my stuff. I'm the one that's feeling unseen. And you know what I mean? Like, so this is like, I get to express how I'm feeling. That doesn't mean that he has to take it on.
Because he's basically telling you, get your baggage in check, basically, before coming to him.
Right. And that was one thing he used to communicate to me all the time was, you get to handle your emotions before you come and have a conversation with me, period. And that used to piss me off because I was like, well, what do you mean? Like, I felt like I need to express this heightened level of where I was, like of energy, so that you can clearly understand where I'm at. And that doesn't work.
It didn't work. But see, here's the amazing part, right? The minute you found that it worked, how did everything change for yourself and the relationship that you have with Abel now?
Well, I started to trust more.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, like that trust opened up a lot more. I stopped trying to micromanage. There were some other little things that really supported me as well, like keeping the communication concise. I realized that men absorb information better when the communication is less layered, right? So I say the most important piece first, how can I communicate in a way that's impactful and effective and concise and to the point?
Okay, now vice versa, flip that around. What would you want from men?
It's so great because I want the same thing. I think it gets lost for myself. I believe that I get lost in translation when I feel I'm a big analyzer and I like to look at like big picture, like I love details. Like Abel tells me all the time, you love details. Like, I don't like details. I just want
Okay.
like the most important information. And for me, I'm like, well, I want to
Want it
know,
all.
like, I want it all. Like, get super people like, he's like, I don't need a novel. Like, I don't want to read a novel.
Get to
But
the point.
he's like, you just love to gather information. And it can be like unnecessary information, but you feel safe gathering information. And I'm like, oh, so true.
What? I'm the exact same way. I need information to make my decision. Even though it's irrelevant, I just want to know
Yep.
about it. It's a safety mechanism. If you don't have the information and lives are on the line, you need to make the right decision and not keep something out.
Yep.
But that's coming from an attorney because it's with you.
He wants facts. Like, I need the facts.
Yes,
I need the
okay,
most
facts.
important
Yeah,
stuff. Like,
yeah.
stick to that. Sometimes this used to piss me off. I'd be communicating with him. He would stop me mid-conversation and say, what is the point of this
No.
conversation? Point is. And then I
I'm supposed
realized,
to see what you're trying to say. I'm supposed to read your mind.
like, how do you not know?
Yes.
I'm giving you all this information.
Oh,
So now that I know that information is overwhelming to him, then I just need to give him the most important points. Let me give him the freaking highlight reel, right? Like 2
Okay.
points, boom.
okay, nice. So let me ask you this one now. How do you compare that to micromanaging? What does that do for you? And how does it determine how guys look at it, right? And I'll give you my opinion.
So I had never thought about my communication as micromanaging. It can be, absolutely. Like when I repeat myself like 15 times, when I send you multiple text messages. So for
Okay.
example, I'm going to go stay with his mother for like a month. And I'm like, hey, have you talked to your mom and let her know the dates that I'm coming? I've asked him this like 4 times already. And then I realized what I was doing. I was like,
Oh,
I
you
keep
realize
asking him. He gets to communicate that with her. It's not a big deal. It's like a helicopter parent. Like, I'm not his parent. I'm not his mom. That means that I'm not trusting him, that I'm trying to parent him.
Oh, man, that might be the whole show right there. Women out there, if you're trying to helicopter parent your relationship, it will not work because that's micromanaging. And you might be coming off in a way that wasn't even meant to be that way, but it's coming off that way. Because if you just saying that gave me the icky feeling. Like, you trying to micromanage me? What the frick?
It's just like anybody. Like, don't tell me what to do.
Right. So like, even though if you try to micromanage anybody, if your manager, if you're at your job and he's trying to micromanage you, you don't like the feeling of that.
No one wants to feel
It's-
controlled.
That's a good one.
But
Because
people will rise to the occasion if they're invited.
true. I mean, this is the whole concept of today's show was the 3 communication styles in leadership and what Carrie went over. Because a lot of times we don't even really realize the behaviors that we do and we don't notice it. But the good part is now that we have the tools, guys, if you want to watch some of our playlists, I'm going to be moving after this Mr. Hormozy's offer that everything's going to be moving into the school community. So if you want to watch some of our replays and our talks, that's where we're going to be at now, right? Emotional shutdown. Explain to me what is an emotional shutdown and how do us men bring it back up? Look at your
This is just one thing that just doesn't work. And I was so guilty of doing this in the past. I'm just not going to talk to you.
Give me an example.
Maybe you're not showing up helping me around the house. And I have told you so many times that you need to help more around the house. And so no, I'm demanding, right?
Okay.
I'm trying to control, I'm trying to micromanage rather than reframe the desired outcome as an invitation. You know, like, hey, I'd love if we could tag team cleaning the house, tag team dinner tonight. You know, how about you do this and I do this? I have since shifted that, but complaining, shutting down, getting angry. And then what happens there is when I shut down emotionally, I'm allowing all of that emotion to build within me because I'm not handling it. It's just building, building, and building. And then what's going to end up happening is I will explode. Someone will explode.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
he doesn't know how to lead me when I'm completely shut down because I'm not receptive. I'm not open to anything. I'm not open to a conversation. I'm not open to any type of solution at all because I have allowed myself. It's almost like you're numbing out on the silence. and just allowing it to build. And
Yeah.
I'm using that. I'm using the silence. I'm using the cold shoulder as a way to punish. And I'm getting a payoff because I'm feeling powerful. I'm feeling powerful within myself, but it's not accomplishing anything. You know what I mean?
Right. But that makes a whole lot of sense because when you're giving the silent treatment because of something that he did, you feel like you're in control again and you're not trusting. But where does it get you, right?
Yeah, absolutely nowhere. And I think when you're in relationship too, it's not like me against the world. It's, hey, this is a team. We together, we're here as a team. And so if that really is true, then at every moment that I am in relationship with you, I want the best for you, the best for us. The best for you is going to be the best for us.
Right, right. Now, let me what does it mean when you meant he doesn't know how to lead when this door is closed? What does that mean?
I did not create a sense of safety for him to show up and lead me. If I'm emotionally shut down, let's be real, you can tell I'm pissed off, right? He's not going to come in and try to lead anything because I'm angry and I'm
I
pissed
see.
off.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's like completely shutting the door in his face.
That makes complete sense because like if you're shutting down, then he don't want to really do nothing for you. If you're just in a silent treatment, I ain't gonna do nothing. I mean, I'm just gonna do the same exact.
Let them go through their process. Well, it's funny is because I used to think that, oh my God, it was this idea that they would chase me to make it right. And no, that's not it. That's not how we do things today. Like
True.
does not.
Very true because it doesn't. It's gonna take two. I mean, even that me and Andrew could be going through some stuff, right? But at the same time, it's like we let it kind of simmer down before I blow up or something like that, right? And then sometimes, okay, we'll talk about it after. Okay, this is what I do. But what happens when the thing starts going over again?
Well, I think that's the beauty of all of it is because I'm not going to do this one time and it just be like, like I've mastered it. This is constant practice.
I see.
I get to constantly be in the practice of the new style of communication. When I don't know what to do, this is the one thing I go to. Like when I'm in this space of, holy crap, I don't know what to do, I go to acknowledgement. No matter what, I just go to acknowledgement. That's the one thing I know
will teach women that.
Will shift the energy. Acknowledging everything, acknowledge his effort, not just the outcome, because men want to feel like they're winning with you, like period. So just pointing out the effort really fuels that. Like,
okay, nice.
I'm noticing how hard you've been working lately. I really want you to know that I appreciate the way that you're showing up. If I don't know where to go in my communication because there's a breakdown, I immediately go to acknowledgement.
Okay. That makes
that was one of the easiest things for me to learn early.
But you see women don't have these tools. They don't even know what direction.
Well, yeah, because if you think about it, and I think about when I was growing up, I don't recall hearing my mother acknowledge my dad very often. If she did, what I do, and I'm sure it happened. I'm 1000% sure it happened. But the thing that stands out for me the most was the end of their relationship, and that entire communication style when both people aren't hearing each other are the things that I remember. And so I mimic those behaviors because that's what you think is normal.
True.
I think that's a normal communication style.
Very, very true. Now let's see. So once you acknowledge it and you're looking for all of those things, and that was your go-to, how do you see? How long did it take you to understand this? Guys, if your other half, your roommate, the person you're dating is not having these tools, maybe they got to reach out to Carrie also. Because I'm going to sit down when she broke it all down with her partner, Abel, right? And I'm going to end with this one, right? How she softened her ways and how it improved the relationship. And now how he leads without even being controlling. And that makes you feel like a certain way, right? And how does he make him fully commit, right? These are the things that you posted that kind of like hit me. It's like, oh, if she does this and other women understand this, how much life will be better for the men watching this and the women learning this?
That one more time.
Your other half is having all these unruly conversations with you. She needs to have these type of tools or understand that she can be a much better place, but how do you get these women to actually do it is a whole different thing. Right?
Well, the willingness has to absolutely be there.
Right.
And it's not about, this is the one thing that I stress with all my clients. This is not a right and wrong conversation. It's
Okay.
really just stepping back and looking at, is my communication effective? And if the answer is no, if my communication style is not effective, I am not getting the desired result, then are you open to a new idea? What you're doing isn't working. Let's try
Right.
something new. It doesn't mean that this is wrong, but we
Right.
get to try something new and see what might work, because constantly repeating the same thing over and over and not getting the desired result, it's
Right.
really just going to cause more and more harm to your relationship.
Absolutely.
You're
100%.
losing respect for one another. You're now putting wedges between each other. You're not trusting one another.
I mean, that's so true. What would you suggest would be the number one thing? Yeah, acknowledge.
Yeah. And that was one thing that my dad shared with me. He was like, my dad's wife, and I've shared this with you, she is like the best at acknowledging everybody. It's not even just him. But you can tell when she does acknowledge him that he just lights up, and then he just wants to go do everything for her. Like, it doesn't matter. It makes him
That's the
feel like a kid. Oh my God, he loves it. And he's told me that. He's like, I love acknowledgement. I want to feel like I am just doing the most amazing thing. And that's going to inspire me to do even more.
Because if you don't acknowledge your partner, vice versa, then you start holding resentment. Then you start doing the same. Then you start holding things back. Then now you start looking at this other person like, man, why am I sticking around? All this other good stuff. And then you said in the other show, you're looking for your way out, regardless. But understand that walking in these steps is not easy.
Mhm.
Never is easy. How would you end today's episode by we went over the 3 communication styles that invite leadership for your partner. Communicate clear desires without demanding. We went over letting the silence breathe. Carrie explained how letting it and what is soft transparency, right? What would be your bonus tip for the day, Miss Pullaro?
Oh, if I'm coming from curiosity rather than criticism, the curiosity will keep the communication engaging. Criticism makes people withdraw. So if I'm coming from curiosity instead of coming at somebody like, why are you doing this? I'm curious. What made you choose that approach? Just like, if I look at every bit of our communication as curiosity, if I'm coming from curiosity, doesn't feel like a personal attack. And it kind of just alleviates any type of emotional high that might be there. But the key is, no matter what, handle your emotions before you come in and have a conversation. It is our responsibility. It is my responsibility to handle my emotions and be in a neutral state before I come in and have a conversation with my partner. That if I'm coming in like an escalated state, that's absolutely unacceptable.
Give our audience, because you can say it so easily. 10 years ago, you wouldn't be able to say that.
Oh my God, I'm coming in like full force, like in a tank. Like,
Starting over.
oh, I will. Yes. I need you to know that this is not okay. Instead of, now it looks so different. It's, let me go process this and get to a neutral place where I can have a conversation, because regardless, we're a team. If I'm coming in angry, I'm essentially saying that the other person's wrong. If there's a winner, that means there's a loser. And
Right.
that's not how that is in relationship. Period.
Right. Now, guys, I hope this resonated with a lot of you. I want you guys, if you're going to be watching this on the replay, or if you want to go to the school community, we're going to put all our things in there. Reach out to Carrie. If you want to direct, say, somebody that needs, it could be a daughter, it could be somebody's cousin, it could be your other half that needs to get some tools. Reach out to Miss Carrie Pullaro on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Because what is one of the big promises that you could give the audience working with you?
Oh my goodness. When you change the way that you look at yourself, when you change the relationship that you're having with yourself, all of your relationships will benefit.
Guys, I just wanted to say, I'm so happy you guys got to even watch this. Going live on TikTok, going live on YouTube. We're going to put all our replays in the school community. Reach out to Carrie is one of the co-hosts and my co-conspirator, basically. She can give you some direction that nobody else would, because she's been on both sides. She's been hardcore feminism, masculine side that didn't work out. found a different way. Has an amazing relationship, has an amazing life right now, and very proud of who has she become, right? Because she has purpose in building it. And I just want her to recognize, guys, if you're watching this, leave us a comment because we'll be ramping up more of these. I want you guys to join the conversation. If you have something to say, leave it in the comment. We invite you to the show so we can just chop it up. Because last week I did one on my own. Miss Pullaro, thank you. As always, it's been a pleasure. Go to the school community. We'll be on there. We'll be doing live. We'll have courses. We'll have workshops. Carrie's going to put some more things. Reach out to her on Facebook. Carrie?
Thank you, Gordon, for creating the space today. I appreciate you.